The Constitutional Commission's educational team was in Cat Island on Monday night, ensuring that citizens are clear about the terms of proposed bills.
Julian highlights safeguards included in the proposed equality bills that would change the Bahamas Constitution.
Bill number 1 will allow Bahamian-born men and women to pass on citizenship to their kids. No problem there, right? But bill numbers 2, 3, and 4 have raised concerns among some people, and that's why there are several safeguards in those proposed constitutional amendments. Bill number 2 would give a foreign spouse Bahamian citizenship, but Constitutional Commission member Brandis Duncanson told Cat Islanders Monday night that that person could be denied the privilege if there is proof that the marriage no longer exists, that it was entered into just to give the foreigner Bahamian citizenship, and that the married couple have no intention of living together as man and wife. Additionally, they will not get citizenship if they have been convicted of a criminal offense anywhere. The Immigration Amendment Bill 2015 also provides penalties for fraudulent marriages, which could result in deportation if the fraud is discovered before the marriage, and
where the fraud is discovered after the citizenship has been granted or the permanent residency, well then there's a penalty of 5 years imprisonment and a $10,000 fine. Additionally, Article 13 of the Constitution empowers Parliament to revoke the citizenship if any individual where there is some criminal element discovered.
The whole process for such citizenship could take up to 10 years. Bill number 3 gives a Bahamian man the right to pass on citizenship to his children born out of wedlock. Richard Flowers of the Constitutional Commission Secretariat explains there's also a safeguard for that proposed amendment.
You must have DNA evidence that that is in fact your child before the citizenship can be transferred.
The fourth bill also has a safeguard. The word sex has been in the Constitution since it came into effect, and up to now remains undefined. Co-chair of the educational team for the Constitutional Commission, retired Justice Ruby Nottage, points out that Bill 4 gives it a definition.
In the Bahamas, we're giving this word one meaning. Sex means male or female.
Your chance to vote on those bills by referendum will take place on June 7th. Julian Reed, ZNS Network News.
Thanks so much, Julian. CLICO officials say they have already dispersed monies to about 60% of the policyholders. And while they address some concerns, they talked to LaDon Davis about the way forward for those still paying premiums.
Managing Director for CLICO Bahamas Limited, Vaughn Culmer, confirmed there are 6,000 active policyholders who have held on since the company went into liquidation in 2009. Several of them went to the Holy Cross Anglican Church 2 weeks ago seeking money, only to be turned away, although they were encouraged to continue paying their premiums.
We advised them that CLICO is transitioning to a new company, new license, and then it'll eventually be sold to the best bidder. So we encourage them to continue paying.
Be able to say whether or not CLICO has a buyer or anyone proposals being made, I guess, towards CLICO?
Okay, no, I'm not privy to that information as yet. But I'm sure the proposals are in. But that would be between the Ministry of Finance and the liquidator.
But that's not the only challenge. Hundreds of complaints have already been made by policyholders who feel they were not appropriately compensated. Mr. Culmer provided this explanation.
When people approach you, they want to hear that there's something for them. Each person's situation is different. Persons may have had loans on their policies. They may have had premiums owed. All of that, that information would have to be deducted from whatever the original cash value was. So everybody's situation is different. It also depends on the size of the face value of the policy, how much premium they were paying, how long they were paying the policy. So it's very different per person.
Meantime, some 300 Grand Bahama policyholders have collected checks, and Culmer says more than a dozen policyholders from other family islands have also inquired about payments. Now CLICO is preparing special provisions to accommodate them.
But right now we're in a position where we're able to facilitate some of them who've contacted us by phone and email So we'll complete the documents and courier them back and forth, and some we can put deposited to their bank accounts once we get all the documents signed. So we're able to facilitate them.
LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
A number of men are expected to be arraigned before the courts in connection with a $2 million cocaine bust in the southern Bahamas. Officer in charge of the Drug Enforcement Unit, Chief Superintendent Samuel Butler, says the men were found on board a wooden vessel in Inagua waters Monday.
On board that vessel were 9 male occupants, 2 Bahamians, and 7 Haitian nationals. Based on intelligence, we had reason to search that vessel, and we observed several hidden compartments. We joined in with our partners, with the DA, the Coast Guard, the Drug Enforcement Unit, and the local officers, and conduct a thorough search of that vessel. Success made out, and we were able to retrieve 114 kilo packages from that vessel.
A 57-year-old man convicted of raping a woman learning his fate today for the crime. Fern Carey tells us that the convict was facing up to life in prison for the felony.
Old contractor Leroy Tucker will spend the next 5 years behind bars for raping a woman back in 2007. Court evidence revealed that the victim was a Jamaican woman who arrived in Nassau back on August 6 of 2007. Tucker's girlfriend, also a Jamaican, invited the victim to stay at their home. On the night the incident happened, the victim testified that Tucker's girlfriend made sexual advances towards her, but she refused. A short while later, she recalled that she was sitting on the edge of the bed in the bedroom watching television when Tucker and his girlfriend entered the room. Seconds later, the victim testified that Tucker's girlfriend pinned her to the bed and watched while Tucker raped her. Jurors apparently believed the victim's story, returning a unanimous guilty verdict against Tucker. Tucker's girlfriend has since been deported to Jamaica, according to court records. During Wednesday's sentencing hearing, Justice Gilliman Archer Mins noted that Tucker, who is a father of 4, has no prior convictions for rape or other offenses against the person. She indicated that Tucker described his relationship with the victim as financially abusive, noting that Tucker claimed that the victim and his girlfriend participated in a consensual orgy at the time. The court then sentenced Tucker to 5 years behind bars.
Now, the judge said the sentence was fair. However, Tucker has the right to appeal to a higher court. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
2 men convicted of killing 3 people, including a pregnant woman, will have to wait a bit longer to learn their sentences. 43-year-old Sean Knowles and Timothy Saunders returned to court today, but the sentencing hearing was pushed back to a later date as their probation reports weren't ready. The duo was initially charged with murder, but jurors convicted both men of manslaughter instead. Knowles was also convicted of firearm and ammunition possession. Court evidence indicates that in July of 2012, Knowles and Saunders entered the Montgomery Avenue apartment of Edwards Brennan, Shakara Ramming, and Erica Ward, who was 8 months pregnant at the time, and fatally shot the 3. Senior Justice Stephen Isaacs will sentence them June 8th. Cordell Fraser prosecuted the case. Ramona Farquharson, Seymour, and Lennox Colby make up the defense.
If you know of a crime, please call Crime Stoppers at 328-8477, toll free 242-300-8477. You can also check them out on www.crimestoppersbahamas.com. Let's stop the crime before it's your time.